Hello patrons of YouTube. This video is about what the video is about, described in the headline. I am an armed guard out in the desert of California, where it's like the hills have eyes and Blade Runner meets like Mad Max and Book of Eli, bath salt methamphetamine induced mutants and 28 days later the movie all put together. And pardon me, I ramble a lot, I'm hyperbolic, and I don't have much couth. And if you knew me, you'd know why. But anyways, so take it from me as a person who has vested interest in the livelihood and property of persons who pay me to look after their livelihood and persons. It's not like I wanted to be a freaking mall cop version of the bad guys from the movie Rumble in the Bronx for Halloween on purpose. And pardon me, I have to look at these screens. Now you know my identity. So, this video, of course, is about what happened to Bishop Marmari. And if I may tell you a story, please. And thanks for your time, because this old man likes to tell stories, and I think it's informative. I'm middle-aged, and I got some things to say about what I've seen. I've lived about 20 years in both the last century and this present one. So anyways, without further ado, I was recently right now on some group chat or something, some Christian group chat about Marmari the bishop getting stabbed, right? And I'm not gonna put them on blast or anything, but I pretty much commented something like, church is private property, and private property plus terrorism attacks means that you should have safety drills where everybody gets down and somebody like me takes the risk and all the headaches that go with trying to be a man, aka getting your car towed, getting detained, having to spend all your savings on a lawyer, and then getting your weapons confiscated and having to arduously prove in court that it was a self-defense case, even though there's like dozens of witnesses on your side, because that's just the world we live in. So, again, I say, safe private property, church, plus terrorism attack equals get down, let me handle this with a Mossberg. Because all this tension and all this terrorism and stuff like that, it seems to be escalating. It seems like it's not just fear-mongering. It seems like we're in a day and age where shit's hitting the fan. Again, I got no couth. If you're a Christian, God bless you. You're a better person than me, Christian or not. I let it fly off the handle and I say it like it is. So like, okay, so these group chat guys immediately like rebuked me and said like, oh, we have to love our enemies and pray for them and pacifistic rainbows and puppy dogs. And you know, I always say I'm converting to Orthodoxy or Catholicism because I just want to get out of Protestantism, because I like truth and it feels good to believe in like a happy, hippie, happy-go-lucky rainbows and sunshine, genie lamp Jesus. But if you look at Christian history, which is all Orthodox and Catholic, the saints and Christian people always had some shit lives. and you can correct me with outliers and infinitesimal demographics thereof, but a famous person, a Stoic, once said, a person who doesn't offend someone out there, not everybody, a person that's not willing to offend somebody can't really be trusted to be telling the truth or to be their real selves. In life, we have to take a side, and I don't have time to iterate to these people who basically booted me off the live chat that if you're gonna sit here and have a pretty popular channel or have any kind of influence at all and speak on behalf of Christendom and call our enemies out, the Saracens, the Muslims and stuff, if you're gonna be bold enough to say that and you want to live your gentrified life, having a wife and kids, a middle class income, a good job, get along with your neighbors and all that, well, it's all contingent upon free speech and living in a free country, which if you're a conservative and you watch like news and stuff like that, seems to be going down the toilet, right? Okay, so keep that in mind, that throughout history, Orthodox Christians have always been speaking against heresy and error, and paid for it with their lives or their livelihood, their personal peace. Okay, so it's cute that these, like, I don't sound gangster or anything. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, guys. Like, come from a very dysfunctional place, and part of me is really jealous of people who have nice shit and grew up like with I don't know, like family and serenity or something, and that's all being threatened if you want to speak up for yourself, if you want to like be a Christian, if you want to be some kind of social influencer. Like, you could get on YouTube or TikTok and just post kitty cat stuff and twerking and secular stuff and just get along with everybody. But if you're gonna play in this realm of politics, religion, all that, right? Well, you're taking this risk that you don't really realize. And like the Bible said somewhere, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force, right? So keep that in mind. Here's the highlight of the story I want to tell you, okay? This was like 2010, and this really sissy-ass church called Crossroads in Corona, California. The only reason why I was going to that church is because I had a friend that obviously wanted to go there to be like a social person and talk to girls and shit like that. And I always tagged along with those fake friends, so I ended up at a sissy ass, gentrified, freaking Ned Flanders meets beta male soy boy church, right? And at some enclave church of that sissy ass place, me and said fake friend were at some martial arts club. And obviously that threatened the manhood of all the other guys that were also there just to fish for women and expose how much they're soy and beta males. So they took it upon themselves, obviously in hindsight, to hire some guest speaker. This guest speaker told a story that I hope isn't true, but if it is, you might want to hear about it, and it's pretty disturbing. So somewhere in the Middle East, there was these missionaries a long time ago or so, right? And it was a wife and a man, and they were being missionaries in some village, and lo and behold, a couple of Saracen bandits. You ever seen the scene You ever seen the scene of the movie Book of Eli, when these like moped or dirt bike riding thugs find this couple in the desert and they shoot the guy and have their way with his woman, and the main character to the Book of Eli does nothing about it? So something like that happened, okay? So the Saracen bandits, they tied up this man's wife to a post or a tree or whatever, and all took turns having nefarious, by implementing their nefarious intentions upon this woman right in front of her husband. Until finally, her moans and screams or whatever, or lack of thereof of moans, just screams for help, alerted the rest of the village, who finally came out and interdicted the situation. And this wife and husband would see these perpetrators at the marketplace and would bless them and forgave them and all this other sissy ass shit that I don't believe is necessary. Look it, check it out. This is a tangent, sort of. Mari, the bishop, forgiving his attacker. He's a way better person than me, let alone Christian, because, look, he's putting himself out there. If you're propagating the gospel and you get hurt for it, one, that's why the disciples and apostles didn't drag around a wife. Two, something about the Bible says that not everybody has the same purpose. Some people are hands, some people are feet. Some people are the sword, in my opinion. And look, I'm not gonna, this missionary couple, they want to forgive those perpetrators or whatever, that's on them. But we live here in the USA, so far we have some kind of freedom. And these terrorists or Saracens, they have the worst possible nefarious intent to inflict upon our culture if they had the chance. And sitting there worshiping pacifism has its limits. So I hope that made sense. And on that note, this here armed guard is letting any apostolic churches out there know I'm eventually going to try to be a catechumen. And if you're in Southern California, or oh man, I like this job that I have right now, but in the near future or something, if you have the accommodations for a person like me to relocate, I am very willing to be a tactical custodian or like a formidable janitor for your church, for catechumenship. Basically saying that not only will I guard the place, I'll clean the place. Not worthy to touch icons, of course, but I'm also saying that for other people who have nothing better to do, they're not boggled down by families and kids and not raising future Ned Flanders. They should rise up, and if you're willing and able to, be the vergers. Look what that is, and like the guard dogs, be the vergers of churches, because this stuff isn't going away, guys. We have the secular world hating Christians, and we have our Saracen enemies hating Christians. And like I said, back in the day, real Christians, aka Orthodox Catholics, they didn't make it so far, man. And the quality, I mean, like I said, you can sit there and be a pacifist all you want, but if you're going to put yourself out there, enter this realm of speaking your mind on political and religious things, and if you have a lot of stake to lose, it should count the cost.